There's no holding back with this video. We're only taking the knockouts that leave you wanting more, the one-hitter quitters and violent masterpieces that are worth watching again and again and again. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. You want to see what real punching power looks like? Well, this early clip from the bronze bomber himself, Deontay Wilder, proves that his power was there long before he'd earned his world champion status. This fight hadn't even gone 30 seconds, and Wilder had gotten the win. The overhand that did it didn't even seem to land cleanly. There was just an inhuman amount of force behind it. Watch combat sports for long enough, and you'll see a few knockouts that truly do leave you speechless. And this entry from the legendary Badr Hari certainly fits that billing. After gauging his opponent's rhythm and movement, he unloaded an extremely quick spinning wheel kick that landed directly on its target. No follow-up shots needed. An instant KO with some extra points for finesse. A highlight worthy of anyone's reel. Look, wrestling slams can be pretty ugly, and most of the time, you'd rather not see an athlete get slammed down on their head if it can be avoided. But when a wrestler has the ability to pull off a feat of such wild athleticism, it can't be ignored. And in this case, even the victim of the slam was forced to admit it was one hell of a maneuver. The move was technically illegal under these rules, but either way, it's a pretty great viral clip, don't you think? We absolutely love double knockouts. In fact, as silly as this might sound, we wish they were even more common in combat sports. But for now, we just have a few of these gems floating around, and this particular one is worthy of the highest praise. Okay, so, of course, not all double KOs are built equally, and one of our fighters here got off a lot worse than the other did. But even though the guy who made it to his feet managed to earn the win, how victorious can you really feel under these wild circumstances? Can you imagine getting hit by a Superman elbow in the middle of a Muay Thai fight? If you weren't aware of this rare technique's existence, you might be left totally shocked by the sheer audacity of your opponent. And for this fighter, he didn't really have too much time to reflect on things, because as soon as this shot landed, he hit the canvas and hit it hard. It's a move you sometimes see attempted, almost as a novelty shot, or one designed to push your opponent backwards. But rarely do we see them land quite like this one. Punches are all well and good, but the amount of pure power you can generate with your legs is truly insane. Something that makes the upkick one of the most deadly weapons in Vale Tudo or even in MMA. In this case, it was a Vale Tudo competition that ended in shocking fashion, as one of the fighters pounced back from his back, landing an upkick with full force to his opponent's chin. It was an instant KO that really gets nastier and nastier the more you watch it. No flashy techniques on display here. Nope. This one was just a straight-up kill shot to the head. Timing and head kick while moving backwards can be an incredibly difficult thing to do, but for this Muay Thai fighter, he found his mark with the perfect shot, landing cleanly as his opponent tried to close the distance. The ref jumped in to save this guy from any more hurt, and judging by his clumsy attempts to regain his footing, he was done. You don't get a reputation as the hardest hitting heavyweight of all time without some serious power behind your shots. And in there with Jimmy Ellis, it seemed like Ernie Shavers was in for a tough night at the office. But when you can generate that type of force, you're never truly out of a fight. And after measuring his opponent's range, he found a killer uppercut that knocked Ellis to the mat immediately for the KO win. Just a thunderous shot. Remember how we said that some double knockouts aren't split evenly down the middle? Well, this is an example of one that was. These two amateur boxers connected at the exact same time with more or less the same amount of power, and they both went out cold immediately after they landed. Seriously, this is a 1 in a million kind of result. We can't imagine how useless the referee must have felt in that position. A truly strange moment inside the squared circle. We've featured Lethwei headbutts before on this channel, but how about this knockout from the Sambo scene? Introducing headbutts into the equation he's always going to change everything when it comes to tight clinch exchanges. Positions that may have been safe are now total no-go zones. And for this unfortunate Sambo fighter, he put himself directly in the perfect range for his opponent to land this killing blow. Whether headbutts actually should be legal or not is another discussion. But this is a skillful use of the technique. There's no denying that. Crime batter Hari was like a cobra with his strikes. Setting up his opponent here with minimal telegraphing, Hari uploaded a rapid-fire punch that sent his opponent to the canvas. It all happened so fast. 1 minute the dude was standing there, totally in the fight. The next, Hari's razor of a right hand connected clean, and that was all she wrote. One of the major legends of the kickboxing ring who truly does deserve his reputation. Another double knockdown comes in courtesy of a pair of truly massive heavyweight fighters. This was a wild fight that saw these hulking behemoths going in for the kill. And when they both landed their kill shot, it was clear that they were both in very big trouble. Now, each man did make it at least to their knees, but good luck continuing after those shots. This is hands down one of the slickest flying knees you'll ever see. After gauging his opponent's timing, this dude didn't fly. No, he floated through the air with insane precision, catching his opponent at the optimum moments to produce maximum damage. There's no getting back up from a connection like that. A flying knee is truly one of the most lethal tools in all of combat sports. Look, if you watch this channel a lot, you'll see more than a few examples of a spinning heel kick. But how about a spinning kick that's aimed directly at the leg? And what happens when that spinning kick renders the opponent unable to continue? Well, thanks to the legendary Andy Hoog, we have an answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the spinning kick to the leg KO, a truly unique knockout shot in a video that is dedicated to uniquely painful-looking KOs. When you see guys like Sen Chai ducking backwards to get out of the way of a head kick, it seems like a no-lose maneuver, right? Well, you need to have expert timing to pull off a move like that. And for this guy, he unfortunately tried to lean backwards way too late. You could just see his uncertainty mid-motion, and by the time he realized the head kick was coming, it was far too late. There's only one Sen Chai for a reason, folks. Speaking of Sen Chai, how about this for a truly awesome KO shot? After lulling his opponent into a false sense of security with his odd movement, a caught kick gave this Thai legend the perfect opportunity to pounce, shooting a straight punch down the middle that his opponent did not see coming. This was just about as slick a motion as you'll ever see, courtesy of one of the all-time greats. This one was just about as telegraphed as can be. Even the people sitting in the nosebleeds of the arena knew it was inbound. But stopping an elbow in the clinch like this from landing is another story altogether. The way he set it up was perfect, and despite his opponent's inability to deal with the blow, we have no doubt that he was dreading it seconds before it landed. Just a ferocious piece of elbow mastery. The commentator's reaction tells you everything you'll need to know about this one. And to be honest, if we were there too, we'd be just as hyped. Taekwondo is a sport where things can truly end in the blink of an eye. And as soon as this poor guy decided to rush in and close the distance, he fell victim to one expertly timed spin kick, bringing his night to a close right then and there. Sensational technique on display. Oh, this one is getting some major style points. When you're fighting a guy like Sen Chai, you can be as composed as you like, as he tricks you into taking a slow pace with his strange movement. But when he springs his attack, boy, the consequences can be deadly. And this question mark kick was so perfect that nobody saw it coming. Even his opponent's body took a moment before totally shutting off. A delayed reaction to the landed kick. A beautiful knockout shot, that's for sure. This is just about as good a rolling thunder kick as you'll ever see. Peter Graham should be very proud of his work here. The setup on this one made it difficult to know exactly what was coming. But once he found the correct momentum, The sheer power of the technique was truly a joy to behold. This is a very low percentage move, one that most fighters don't even dare attempt. And that's why it gets a spot on this list. A special, special knockout. You don't need a massive wind-up to produce cataclysmic results. And this incredibly short elbow proves that point. There was virtually no wind-up on this shot. A deft, stabbing elbow that caught his opponent clean on the chin. And the delayed reaction he had made it even worse, like his body slowly realized it was in trouble as he lost his footing when trying to stand back up. You can never be too careful when trying to make your move in a high-level Taekwondo fight. And for this unfortunate victim, he mistimed his entry, running directly into a clean spinning hook kick that ended his night in an instant. Seriously, these Taekwondo guys are truly something terrifying. And what better place to finish up than with this brutal series of clinch knees? Attacking the body first is always a reliable way to open up shots to the head. And after mercilessly targeting his adversary's body, the final blow came just as his opponent crumbled to the ground. And that shot directly to the chin, yeah, that was enough to put his lights right out. A nasty KO that gets a 10 out of 10 on the violence meter.